Dark Lens Studios presents. Imagine standing on one of the Caribbean's most beautiful beaches. Crystal clear water stretches toward the horizon. Gentle waves roll onto golden sand, and everything seems peaceful. Then, almost overnight, everything changes. Millions of tons of mysterious brown seaweed begin covering the shoreline. Beautiful beaches disappear beneath thick floating mats. Marine life is disturbed, tourism suffers, and coastal communities face an unexpected environmental crisis. This strange seaweed is called sargassum. Far out in the Atlantic Ocean, sargassum is one of nature's most valuable floating ecosystems. It provides shelter for sea turtles, fish, crabs, and countless marine species. Scientists often describe it as a floating oasis in the middle of the ocean. So how did something so beneficial become such a serious problem? The answer begins more than a decade ago. During the winter of 2009 and 2010, unusual wind patterns and shifting ocean currents carried large amounts of sargassum away from its traditional home in the Sargasso Sea. The seaweed drifted into warm, tropical waters, where abundant nutrients created ideal conditions for rapid growth. Over time, this expanding population formed an enormous, floating mass, stretching thousands of kilometers across the Atlantic Ocean. Today, scientists know it as the Great Atlantic Sargassum Belt. Every year, powerful currents carry parts of this massive belt toward the Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico. When these blooms reach the coastline, the real problems begin. As the seaweed decomposes, it releases hydrogen sulfide gas, producing a strong odor while damaging coastal ecosystems and creating serious economic challenges for local communities. Removing millions of tons of seaweed after it reaches shore is nearly impossible. So instead of waiting for the problem to arrive, NASA watches it from space. Using advanced Earth-observing satellites, scientists detect enormous sargassum blooms, monitor their movement across the Atlantic, and combine those observations with computer models to predict which coastlines are most at risk. This gives governments and researchers valuable time to prepare, protect sensitive ecosystems, and focus cleanup efforts where they are needed most. NASA's PACE satellite is now providing even more detailed observations, helping scientists understand how these blooms form, grow, and respond to changing ocean conditions. At first, tracking seaweed from space may sound unusual, but this mission reminds us that protecting life on Earth often begins with seeing our planet from a different perspective. Because every discovery made from orbit helps us better understand the oceans that sustain life. Sometimes, the greatest discoveries aren't found on distant planets. Sometimes, they begin by looking back at our own world from space. Dark Lens Studios, bringing the universe closer to you.